Cheers, man. Thanks very much. Just want to say, I had a proper shit day today, and listening to the comedians before, it really cheered me up. I was actually supply teaching, fucking hell, in Burnage, and the children in year 6, they were so horribly vile to each other that it nearly made me cry, if I'm being honest with you. They were racist, they were sexist, they were abusive, it was fucking grim. And my poetry is not much more cheerful. I'm afraid. So I'm going to do you 3. The first one, it's not the best, but here we go. I was watching the news today and it was all about a terrorist attack. When the girls came into the room and then had to turn it back onto the cartoons I've been watching just half an hour before. And I'm not sure that they saw anything, but I can't be absolutely sure they didn't see the body bags and the bloody rags strewn out across the pavement. Or the other story before it about the DWP missing payments to a pensioner who worked all her life to end up skinned. And I'm sorry, but how can a clerical error possibly ever lead someone to jump into a quarry? Well, it did, I'm afraid, and that's a fact, and someone has to protest. Because the party line is hardly fine when it barely even confessed it in the age of the computer. And when the internet runs a system, that an old lady can't pay the bills and see her family again to kiss them and say goodbye for one last time and wish that things were better. And so they'll cry and wonder why as they read aloud the letter that she wrote before she chose to take herself off to meet her maker. And in that note she calmly spoke about the blokes that came to take her television and her decision that she took, but with great deliberation. And the apology that followed the event was no commiseration, but in the grand scheme of things, is it all that significant when the hackers reveal massacres of the infirm and of the innocent that occur across the earth and on an almost daily basis, only confined to all mankind, to all religions and all races? So I grab hold of the remote and I turn the cartoons off with urgency, and we sit together in silence and hear of murder and insurgencies, look at the faces of the racists as they climb up onto their podium. And even though the girls beg me to turn it back to Nickelodeon, I refuse because I choose to let them make up their own mind about how a court can ask a jury to say whether they find a molester, a protester, a robber or a saviour. Guilty or not, the sentence they got will be half for good behaviour, and they'll be out without a doubt before the girls have even left school. This is the world, this is it, girls, and I'll make sure that you're nobody's fool into thinking that MP's policies and what they promise me are worth the paper they are written on. And so they'll question the suggestion after I've long been and gone, so that when someone and no one gets up to face a pantomime panel, they'll watch it before they turn it over to the Disney Channel. Because to be ignorant is one thing, to be absent is quite another. And if we educate the young, let's have a chance we might recover from the incoherent lack of action that has spread like HIV and AIDS, and the spirit and the passion will live on after the hate in me fades. Because hate is a powerful emotion, yeah, but it's only half as strong as hope. And we can only set the wheels in motion if we give them enough rope to string a few sentences together and do more than we ever thought we could. And then they'll learn their lessons, yeah, like every daughter should. Cheers. It keeps falling down. So that one's for my girls, and the next one's it's for my back, really. I've got a foot back, I'm 31, my back's fucked. But you might be able to relate to it in a different way. There's a dog bark at the end of our street, and she swears that she can't hear it. There's the East Lancs in the motorway, but even they don't come near it in terms of deafening me and threatening me and making me close the curtain. It's confusing at times, like I'm choosing to mind, but I know it, and I'm certain that there's a dog bark at the end of our street, and I can hear it in the night time. It always starts up and it never shuts up, and even though there's never a right time, it's an aggravating bark, and it is in agitating, stark contrast to the noise and the fuss that I used to hear, to the hum and the buzz that I used to fear when I couldn't hear that fucking dog barking. And I don't remember it starting. It was way before I lived over here. I've been hearing it now for 5 fucking years, and so the bastard must have followed me. And the noise has somehow hollowed me out of the person that I was into a living, breathing shell. And a passerby with a naked eye would never be able to tell that all I can hear is a barking dog, on repeat, on snooze, on silent. And all I can think of when I hear that dog is of defeat, or to lose, and to be violent. There's a dog bark at the end of our street and it hasn't got a lead on. It won't come out of the gate, it hasn't got out to feed on, so I go into the street to give it something to eat, and just to call it to come, the volume will drop and the barking will stop, and I'll have to think of some other things to complain about, some other things to be in pain about, because I realise life's a drain without, go fucking insane without. The thing I can't be Culain without is that fucking dog barking. It's louder than a bin lorry parking. It's more piercing than its claws that could stab me, and from the first minute I heard it, it had me right where it wanted me to be, pinned up in a corner for everyone to see. It's that lad who wears a dog that no one else hears. You must be mad to wear a dog when there are no dogs near. But there's a dog bark at the end of our street. I swear down, I'm telling you, there is. Thank you. yeah, my little girl's an inspiration for everything, but for all the wrong reasons. I was saying to my friend before that in 20 years there might not be a fucking world for them. Unfortunately, it's pretty grim. One of them's 5, and one of them's 1. They're the best. They are the fucking best. And this one's for them again. Just what on earth will I tell my girlfriend 24 and 19 about the way we've left the world for them and about the things they might have seen? When they're queuing up at the food bank or at the fountain for a drink, how will I explain that no matter what, we never took the time to think that eating meat and driving cars were things we could have done without? And even at a breaking point and a point of realisation, we carried on and on in doubt of all the sceptics with their septic tanks full to bursting point with nonsense, and how we trusted them, mistrusted and we misjudged it in more than one sense because it's double and it's triple. It's 4 times worse than we thought. And at my age, we can't play ignorance because when we were at school, they taught us about the forests and the ozone and the greenhouse gas effect, about the oil and the dodo and the way nature selects the weak ones from strong ones and washes them all out with a wave. Or is it the rich ones from the poor ones, and it's the money that can save them from the disasters that their masters from overseas were underneath, and that the ones sent to take them were the same ones sent to bring relief from the cholera and the chlorine that half the world still have to drink, while the other half are even less, pretend that no one's on the brink of a precipice, a bottomless pit, or on the tip of a floating block of ice. The hides beneath the surface, you don't see it unless you look twice, but twice is 2 times too many when your smartphone starts to ping, and we're hashtagging with a cash bragging that we're all about to bring an end to homelessness and hostilities with a free meal and a warm embrace, when we should have been armed to the teeth and engaged in a barefoot fucking race from Manchester down the M6 straight to London in our droves to drive out the cockroaches and to string up Michael Gove. But we didn't do it, sweethearts, because we had to go to work, and so the planet's on its arse and the weather's gone berserk. But the fracking has just started, so we might all be warm soon as the riches and the bitches and the bastards move to the moon to create a new haven for the depraved and the emotionally bereft, to escape civilization whilst the rest of us are left back on this planet that we inhabit and use as our dumping ground. And we'll wait with bated breath until we hear the thumping sound of the missiles and the big owl chants of hatred and of war. And we'll lift our heads above the parapet like we should have done before to see your cousins by the dozens and your mums good looking mate fall by the wayside, and when they've died, well, we'll know it's too fucking late. Thank you.
Scouting out special guests for this evening, didn't I?